Hello, Algebra 1 students. In the last section, we talked about adding and subtracting polynomials, and now we're going to be talking about multiplying them. All right, so the first type of polynomials we'll be multiplying is a monomial and then another type of polynomial, okay? And when we have this, we're really just using the distributive property that we've already talked about, okay? So if we're multiplying a monomial by a polynomial, we're going to use the distributive property. Distributive property. All right, so what we're going to do is do 5x cubed times 9x to the fourth, and then 5x cubed times negative 7x squared. So we're going to have 5x cubed times 9x to the fourth plus 5x cubed times negative 7x squared. All right, so the first thing we do is we're going to multiply the numbers out in front. So 5 times 9 is 45. All right, and then remember when we're multiplying powers with the same base, we add the exponents together. So x to the third times x to the fourth is going to be x to the seventh. All right, again, first thing we're going to do is multiply those first two numbers together. So we have 5 times negative 7 is going to be negative 35. And then x to the third times x squared is x to the fifth. All right, and then we're done for that one. Circle our answer. All right, and we don't need to do that first step that we did up here every single time. All right, if it helps you, then go ahead, but we can kind of just do everything in one step. So the first thing we're going to do is negative 9m squared times 5m squared, or 5m cubed. So negative 9 times 5 is negative 45. M squared times m cubed is m to the fifth. All right, and then we have negative 9m squared times negative 11m squared. So we have a positive 99m to the fourth. Okay, negative 9m squared plus or times positive m is going to be negative 9 m to the third. And then finally, we have negative 9m squared times positive 7, which is going to be negative 63m squared. All right, and that is our final answer. All right, so we just use the distributive property there. But if we're multiplying binomials together, we're going to use a new method that's called FOIL. And maybe you've heard of this before or seen it written somewhere, but maybe you haven't actually done it before. All right, but what FOIL stands for is the first term product, which we have here. So the first term times the first term, okay? And then we have O is the outside terms product, so the outside term and the outside term, so these two terms. And then I is the inside, okay? So we have inside times inside. And then the last terms in each set of parentheses, okay? So the first terms product, again, would be 2x times x. So that would be 2x squared, okay? And then we have outside terms product. So we take the farthest left term and the farthest right term and multiply them together, and we get 14x. And then inside terms product, so the two terms of the inside, we multiply them together, and we get 3x. And then the last terms in each set of parentheses, we're going to multiply together, and we get 21. Okay, so then we just add all of these together. So add. All right, we have 2x squared. All right, again, we're going to combine like terms when we can. So 14x plus 3x is going to be 17x plus 21. All right, and that is our final answer. All right, let's try a few examples of this. So we have 3y minus 5 times 2y plus 9. So we're going to start by the f in FOIL, which is the first terms. So 3y times positive 2y is going to be 6y squared. All right, and then we have the outside terms. So we have 3y times 9, which is going to be plus 27y. All right, then we have inside terms, so the two terms of the inside, multiply those together. So negative 5 times 2 is negative 10 y. And then we have the last term in each set of parentheses multiplied together. So negative 5 times 9 is negative 45. Okay, and the last step is just to combine like terms. So we're going to have 6y squared plus 17y minus 45. All right, let's try that again. So we have the first times the first, that's going to be 24m squared. All right, then we have the outside, so 8m times negative n is going to be negative 8mn. All right, next we have the inside, so 5n times 3m is plus 15mn. And then finally we have the last times the last, which will be negative 5n squared. All right, so this is going to be 24m squared. Combine the middle term, so negative 8mn plus 15mn is going to be positive 7mn minus 5n squared. All right, so now we'll talk about multiplying two polynomials. So FOIL is only used when we're multiplying two binomials, but if we're multiplying two general polynomial, what we're going to do is multiply every term in the first polynomial by every term in the second polynomial, all right, which is pretty straightforward here. So if we look at the first example, we're going to do x squared times 3x cubed. So that would be 3x to the fifth. And then we have x squared times negative 5x squared, which is going to be negative 5x to the fourth. And then x squared times 4x is going to be positive 4x cubed. Okay, and now we have to multiply the second term by every term. So we have to do 5 times 3x squared, or 3x cubed, so it's going to be plus 15x cubed, 5 times negative 5x squared, so negative 25x squared, and then finally 5 times 4x, which is plus 20x. All right, and then now what we're going to do is just combine like terms. So we're going to have 3x to the fifth, all right, and then we combine all of our x to the fourth, so we only have negative 5x to the fourth. And then we have 4x cubed plus 15x cubed, so that's going to be plus 19x cubed. And then we have negative 25x squared plus 20x. Okay, and then that is our final answer. All right, in the last example of the notes, we're going to follow the same plan we did up top. So we're going to multiply every term in the first polynomial by every term in the second polynomial. So we'll start with the 5x squared, and we're going to multiply that by 3x, so that'd be 15x cubed. And we have 5x squared times negative 4, so that would be negative 20x squared. All right, then we're going to do x times 3x, that will be plus 3x squared. Then we have x times negative 4, so negative 4x. And then lastly, we have negative 2x, or negative 2 times 3x, so that would be negative 6x, and negative 2 times negative 4, and that's positive 8. Okay, so now we can combine like terms here. So we have 15x cubed, and we have negative 20x squared plus 3x squared, so negative 17x squared. Then negative 4x minus 6x is negative 10x, and then plus 8 at the end there. All right, and that is our final answer.